So, last class we discussed what we call a linear data structure, the stack, and today's class we are going to discuss one more important linear data structures called queue. So, already we have known about linear data structures. So, let me define what actually linear data structure means. So, linear data structure is a ordered collection of element where normally what happens, they use the adjacency relationship. So, normally what happens, so whenever we talk about linear means one after the others or in sequence or in consecutive memory location, that is they use adjacency relationship, that is what we call as a linear data structures. So, there we have studied about array as a case study, and also we took an example of stack. We have understood the effectiveness of stack, so where and all and how these stacks can be used, and also how it is a linear data structure, how they can be implemented using linear data structures, that is what we call arrays. So, using arrays we have did a stack, and also we have a static and dynamic memory representation of stack. So, there we took a static memory representation using arrays. So, now let us come to another important data structure called a queue. So, let me come back, I think first we will go with the real time meaning of what is queue. I think many are familiar with what is a queue means. We have seen many places the queue will be formed. So, where we have a sequence of maybe people will stand together one by one, and one end there will be some some processes taking place, other end people are forming queue. You go to ATM, I think most commonly you might have seen. So, when you go to ATMs, there is a queue nowadays. We have to make social distance as well, and you can make out a long queue will be formed. So, where one person will be waiting, so after completion, so you will leave another person. So, the queue will be increasing by other end. So, this is what not only there are many examples. So, when you go to some marriage functions where we have buffet system, so we carry plate and we stand. You might have seen. You might have enjoyed also, whether you are a poor average person or no, doesn't make difference. Everybody wants to hold the plate and stand in the queue. It's a funny, sometimes, when we go to some marriage functions, so we have to stand irrespective of who we are. So, we have to hold plate and stand like this. This is also sometimes funny concept. So, maybe try to understand, because most of our classes nowadays going with we are online, and a lot of fun you are missing, and also it's very difficult for us also to teach without being without students, and no problem. So, we'll have fun in between. Let me try to bring that concept, some fun in the my online classes as well. So, let us I think now you got an idea or imagination of what is a queue. So, now let me define about what is queue in our computer science. So, when you think of computers, how these queues are used. So, what actually queue means, we can define it's again whatever the people are standing one after one by one, in the similar way here also we have to organize. We have to represent in the form of queue means what you are going to represent is, it's nothing but data, whatever it is. Already where in computers we can store only data and instructions. So, this data has to be organized, or that digital thing. So, it's not only for data organization, there are many applications. You will understand, it may be the job, anything digital. So, whatever you have data, that can be formed queue. I just took a word data in general, whatever it is, what is inside the computer, what we kept. So, everything is in the form of data, therefore, I took data. So, that data can be organized one by one, so one after the other. So, this is what we call as a queue. That's how the physical, what we have seen in queue, where people standing one after the other. Similar way, this data could also be organized one by one. So, that is what we call as a queue, general definition. That is physically what we have seen. In similar way, we can form inside the computer as well, that is using a linear data structure, which is we are talking about a queue. So, now what is this queue means? It's an ordered collection of data items. So, where insertion takes place at one end and deletion takes place at the other end. So, where we insert the element is called the rear end, and where we delete the existing element from a queue is called a front end. So, if you have a queue means, so there is a one end, so where people are deleted. So, that end is called as a front end, so front, and where we have a new elements or where new people are joined, so that is called as a rear. So, at the rear end we call, so that organization is nothing but a queue. So, what actually it follows, so we have understood about linear data structure stack, so it follows the principle of which one? Yes, correct. I think you guessed correctly. That is LIFO, last in, first out. So what we are trying to do here is the first in, first out. So this follows the principle of FIFO, first in, first out. Remember, both are linear data structure, but the mechanism, how they functions is going to differ. That's the only difference we can make out in the stack and as well as in the queue. That's how you organize that. Based on that, we have different applications, how we perform the operations. So that is what the queue we are talking about. That's LIFO, last in, first out, which is called stack, and this is FIFO, first in, first out, which that's how where the inserted element, first inserted element is the first to be departed. That is how, first in, first out. So in the queue you might have seen. So when you go to movie theaters, so sometimes nowadays it's all online. Even theater you don't need to go, so just bring mobile and online everything can be watched at home only. So earlier what happens, people are going and standing in a queue tomorrow, Friday, normally if new movies are released and you are now booking ticket and all those things directly go. But earlier what happens, there is a big queue will be formed. So where one end, people who stands in the first, will get the first ticket and he goes. So similar way, the data has to be organized. That's exactly similar, the concept which we are going to talk about in this data structure, that's linear data structure queue. So now let me think of what are the different types of queues we have, how do we represent. So as usual there are two methods. Which are the two methods? I think now you can remember. The one method is the static representation. So as usual, so using arrays. Static means arrays. So another method what we are going to use is dynamic representation. So that we will be discussing, that is using linked list. So these are the two methods of representing arrays. So before that we get into this representation, let me define what are the possible types of queues available. So what are the queues means? So normally you can go with different types of queues. So one is we have a linear queue, which normally we are familiar with, or simple queue. The second one we have a circular queue, and also we have a priority queue, and one more is called double queue. So DQ we call, so double-ended queue. So we'll discuss one by one. The first one is a simple queue. Simple queue or linear queue is simple what we have seen. So where insertion takes place at one end, rear end, and deletion takes place at other end called as the front end. So this is a simple linear queue. So you can imagine this is a linear queue, means it looks like this. So we have what we can write here. So I'll write. So again we'll discuss about memory representation. So this is front end and this is a rear end. So where insertion, deletion takes place at different ends. So this is where the elements are deleted, and through this where elements are inserted. So this is what we call as a simple queue. So next we have means a circular queue. So what is circular queue means? So it's also a collection of data items where the last element or the last node follows the first node like this. So that's how it becomes a circular. In a simple queue we have only dead end. So end. Here what happens? The last element will follow the first element. So it becomes like a circular queue. And one more is called a priority queue. So what does priority queue means? So it is a certain type of queue according to your requirements or your own preset priority. So where insertion and deletion can be performed according to the preset priority. So such representation of queue is called priority queue. So and one more is called double-ended queue or DQ we call. So here what happens? Insertion and deletion takes place at both the ends. So here also you can insert front and rear. Here also delete an element. So both in two way you can do it. That is called as a what we call DQ or double-ended queue. So there is 2 pointers now we are using. So where insertion can be done here also, deletion can be done that end also. This is might have seen. So whenever some place both people are running this side and that side. Sometimes temple we make both some priority, people will get in and join, and we go to the to see the god. Might have seen many places where we have two different queues, the same, where insertion and deletion takes place at the same end also. You might have seen some people join here, some people delete from here itself. So that type of queues. So this is sometimes many places you encounter, but just you figure out this is the talk we have the topic we have come across in our real life as well. So we are not talking anything else which is not found in a real time. So what we have seen in this, the same thing we are going to organize and represent in a computers, and that's what we are trying to do here. Anyhow, I think you can follow, you can understand what I'm trying to say, and also your experience. We have come across sometimes where we stand in queue, maybe in the when you're collecting uniforms, you form a queue where one by one you collect and go. There's many examples. That's why you have personally experienced this kind of topics which is in real time or real life as well. So let us get into the representation of Q. So how you are going to represent representation of Q? As already I have told, there are two methods. One is called static representation using arrays. Another we have a linear representation. That's a memory representation of Q. That's a linear data structure. One is static representation using arrays, dynamic representation using linked list. So we'll discuss all this one by one. So, and also before that, let us try to understand what is a static. Already I have said, so it's always fixed. We have discussed about disadvantages of static. So therefore we go for dynamic as well. So dynamic, as already told in the last class. So because I have to explain dynamic memory allocation, so that then only you can understand what is this linked list. So therefore without dynamic memory allocation I cannot explain. So linked list, therefore we keep this linked list. After dynamic memory allocation I explain, I will continue this linked list. Again we will come back to this topic. Now let us focus on the what you call static representation, that is using arrays. So already you have seen, so where you can see this is example. So if it's let me remove this and we'll take one more, the same thing. So this is, we can say it's an empty, it's an empty queue. Let can define this as a queue now. So it's nothing but an array. So it's normal linear data structure array. So normally we are representing A. So you may represent by Q also. Any name you can use, that doesn't make difference, no problem. So just we'll go with the elements. Suppose if your some elements means, so we can have like this 2, 4, something, some number. So this is called front end, this is called rear end. So this is how the queue, what we discussed, what we described so far, this is how physically they are going to represent in the memory. So that is, we have the elements, 1, 2 pointers we use, that is called front. I wrote front. So this is the end where the elements are deleted. So that is how, this is the one end where elements are deleted. And we have another end, this is called rear. So rear end, this were represented by R, so in this example. So that rear end is always contains the last inserted address. So it is like subscript, the position. We have 0, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As we know array with the subscript one dimension array, the same thing, but only thing is how these elements are operated, that is using some different techniques, not like just an array where we start from 0 to n, so subscript. But it's array only, but I use how I manage these subscripts and the representation of elements, that is through the front and rear pointers. So that's how you can treat, that's how real time. Array could also be used as a queue, as a linear data structure. This already I have told, whenever we talk about applications of array, arrays are used to implement other linear data structures. This is an example. One, we have already understood how stacks are going to represent using arrays. Similarly, we are now representing the queue using arrays. So this is the basic concept. You can write, whenever you want to insert new element means, so it is R is equal to R plus 1. And then the new element inserted. Same thing, or equals, it's like point subscript positions. Just you increase, it goes to the next memory. Similarly, whenever you delete, how you delete means, so this deleted and F equals F plus 1. So this is how we operate arrays, because already I have told. So whenever we talk about queue means, so insertion takes place at one end and deletion takes place at other end. So therefore, we use two subscript variables. One is F front, which is always keep track of the element to be deleted, and this one always contains the new element to be inserted. Already inserted element, it is pointing now. So when you want to insert new element means increase, as usual what we did for stack, the same thing. So increase, and where is a vacant space next to the memory, then you add. And there may be normally insertion is possible whenever we have option of sufficient memory. If there is no memory means we cannot insert. So this is normally we come across the concept associated, that is the stack also we have discussed, where it has a sufficient space to accommodate, then we can perform the insertion operation. There is no space means we cannot insert. So that is the similar way queue also. So let us learn now what are the functions we can perform. So suppose you want to bring this concept in your computers or in your programming means what I have to do. So how I can do these things means very simple, just First you create function of q, that is normally we decide like stack function. Here also you can define function called q. So anything, no problem, just you use a q. So any name you can use, this is a function, so it creates empty q. So I wanted to bring this concept into a program, means we must have in our like object-oriented programming we have discussed, there is a functions, classes and objects we have discussed, there is a functions and data. So now we should have a function like q. What it does means it creates empty q. That's just to bring a concept into programming. What theoretically I am saying, if you want to start means first I have to create a function which is going to create this empty q. So next what you can do is, next is normally what we call, we use the enqueue function. What is this enqueue? Is nothing but inserting. So when you want to insert a new element into the queue means, then we need this function, that is enqueue. It takes arguments, that is the element to be item to be inserted, and also it returns nothing, just it accepts an argument function, that is item that is going to be inserted into the queue. Like we have 7 means 7 is passed and 7 is inserted in this example, if you imagine, just that is what we are going to do. Enqueue means we are trying to add new element into the, that's an insertion operation, exactly similar there we called as a push, so here we called as a enqueue, so where we are going to insert new element into the queue. So next one what you have discussed means another is called dequeue. So what is dequeue means? So dequeue, it doesn't take any arguments but returns an item. So after that is we are going to delete, but it doesn't take, but it returns a argument, that is the data which is deleted. Suppose you deleted 2 means that will be, that function returns back. So whenever you call this function, so this returns some value, that's the return. We have discussed last year different types of functions where we have function with argument, no return value, function with argument, return value, all 4 possibilities we have discussed excluding recursions. So that in similar way these are the functions which is I may be using different types of functions. And also we have a isEmpty. So isEmpty is it's assisting, so it's not associated with queue, this is the functions you are writing. So isEmpty is also needed, so whenever we want to check if the queue is empty or not. So if there is a function ready made like isEmpty, so I can decide. So normally what happens, this returns boolean value, yes, true or false, like 1 or 0. So if it is true means the queue is empty, so if it is false means that is 0 means it is not empty. So that's how you can use, and also you can use the size function. So normally count the number of elements. Look at this, how many, what is the size of the queue means right now? So it is 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 elements, hence the size of the queue or length of the queue is exactly similar to array, size of array, same thing, because array only, but we have a function that can find, like front to rear, you add traverse from front to rear, so that will give you exactly the number of elements that are present in a queue. I think this is a very simple one, we have understood. These are the functions which we are going to perform with the queues. That what are the functions we make you do it is, I'm not talking about the operations on linear data structures, I'm just talking about the functions associated with the queue. So what are the operations we are going to do is already we're traversing, searching, insertion, deletion, that's what we have the linear data structure. So the same thing could also be performed. These are the necessity, whenever we perform some queue concept means these are the functions which are assisting, they must present in your queue programs whenever we write programs. So now let us talk about the insertion. So what is, we'll write an algorithm how to insert an element into the queue, and also we do the algorithm of dequeue, that is removing an existing element from the queue. So that is like we did push and pop operations, and you have understood how this push and operations can be very useful whenever it is involved with the computers. So maybe it is a system softwares or whatever the application software. We have seen the application of stacks many places. So in similar way, let us go and discuss with the queue. Enqueue we call the process name, instead of push we can call it as a enqueue. You can call it push also, you can call insertion also, that doesn't make difference, but we use the name so that it is enqueue. So you are enrolling into queue. So dequeue means we are deleting an element from queue. So that's doesn't make much difference. That's what the terms are associated, but basic underlying function is the same, process of adding new element to the queue. So now let us learn about how to add new element into the queue. I think if you are familiar with the stack push operation, so because it's a static in nature, so we must know is there sufficient space to accommodate a new element or not. That's correct. So whenever we have a fixed size, so already if it is contains full means I cannot insert a new element. So we have seen some places, most of the places, might have, go to some temples. So where we have a limited number of peoples can join. So after that they will stop. There is no space. We have to wait for the next, maybe tomorrow or maybe next, next time. So next puja you can think next. So next you have to, suppose there is a time limit till 9 o'clock and it is closed. That is, that is a limited. There is a space is limited. So then what happens? So you cannot add new element. Exactly similar way, here also when we have fixed means only those number of element can be stored, because it's a array is a static structure. Now what we are trying to do is means using on static data structure, that is arrays, that is used to implement the concept of queue. So therefore it becomes necessary to always necessary to identify when the queue is going to full. So normally what happens when you have an array, just imagine, so this is an array means, that is what right now we are treating as a queue. So if it is like 0, 1, we will write 1, 2, 3, etc. This is n minus 1 if there are n elements. So that is how we are going to represent arrays, one dimension array. So here what we are trying to do means, so whenever we keep inserting, so what is updated means, like you have front and rear is increased r plus 1, so r plus 1. So when r reaches n minus 1, so the queue is full now, because we added element, we added every time increased, add the new elements, and finally there is no space. So when do you say that no space means n minus 1? If there are n elements, the size of an array is n means, so we have a n minus 1, the condition where subscript, that is a rear pointer, meets the n minus 1, that is upper bound. So then we conclude there are no space, we cannot add new elements, so that is where we have to stop. So that is the one we have to think. So another is, if it is empty, so you are trying to insert as a new element, that is the first element is the, we are going to create it. So what we are trying to insert is become the first element. So we have to check two options. One, the queue is full or not. If it is full, we cannot do anything. Otherwise, we have to check is it empty or not. So if it is empty, you make the first, what you are trying to insert, so that becomes the first element. Otherwise, already some element exists, then you add like this. So we'll take this three possibilities. Let me write that pictorially. So that is how we write. Now this is the first example. No. So Q is empty. Then what happens? You are adding some element 4, and F is also same, and rear is also same, that is 0. Both are pointing to only one element, same elements. Another what happens means, so it may be already having some elements. So we can think like this 4, 6. So this is front, this is rear. In this case, what we do, we increase. So increase rear pointer r plus, or this is we are going to add some element 5. So another possibility means, just imagination, first condition we have to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is front and this is rear. So we cannot insert, because this condition we cannot insert element, or check is it empty, that is the element you are going to insert is the first element. So another is already exists some elements, so just you add it. So this is how we are going to insert an element into the queue. So now let us we start with the first option, the queue is full or not. So let us we start, the queue is full or not means how you do means, let me take an example, that is algorithm as usual. Step 1, start. I think you are all familiar with what I have said in the last class, how whenever we perform insertion operation, first we have to check the queue is full or not. So how do you check means, this is the condition. First, if, what is a pointer? So if rear pointer is equal to n minus 1. So as usual, so let A be an array, let Q be an array. If you take Q, so this is what you are talking about, let Q be an array with n elements. So this algorithm insert an item into the queue, and front is a pointer pointing to the first element of the queue, and rear will be the pointer pointing to the last inserted element. So that's just the variables we are going to use in this algorithm. So let we have n elements. So if rear is equal to n minus 1 means the first case, so that is upper bound n minus 1. So then there is no space. So just output. So what's the output? So Q is full. the queue is full. So we cannot insert new element into the queue because you can see there 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we had space, all elements are inserted. So new element you are trying to insert is not possible. So next, just we cannot do anything. So display this message, go to stop. We'll write the step where it is going to end. So next one is, so if you take 3, then we have a 4. So after this, that is else. So we'll take this one, else. So else means, so it is not equal to, or just we use not equal to n. If it is programming, you use else, or else just you go to the next number step number, you can take it, this is if n, finish this, go to next step number 4. So what we are going to do here means, that indicates the queue is not full. Maybe it is like empty. Possibility it is not means, it may be empty or it contains some elements, that is other options. So if it is empty means, so that's what we do. If, how do you check queue is empty? Empty means, what happens? So if it is empty, how do you check means, if the front pointer, so we have a front, so front equals null means, so front there exists no, it is 0 actually. So if it is not, it's a null means nothing. So then what happens? There is no queue. So we don't have a queue. So then we cannot, that is we have a queue, but it's empty because front is nothing now. So sorry, I will not say there is no queue. It's a queue is there, but without elements. Queue without elements. Queue is empty. So therefore, what we do means, so we make both the pointer, that is rear pointer or EAR. So rear, and I think I use somewhere capital here. You can use capital or lowercase letter, no problem. So front, rear equals 0, front equals 0. That is, make the 2 pointers 0, 0, and then insert an element. So otherwise, else. So hence compulsory here. So if it is not null means, so there exists already some elements. So like this example 4, 5, 6. Then what we do? R equals, that is a rear equals rear plus 1. So this is where we add new element. That's not is add new element means, after choosing the proper position of R, so now we are going to add, that is a queue of rear will be at that position we have a item. So next step, so you can write here this is 4 and you can use if else same number. This is you can make 5 and this is you make stop 6. Because I took if else is a one statement. So that goes to step number 6. Otherwise, so you can see now, we'll take example, we'll do it. So here we find proper, till here, from here to here, we find proper position where this item has to be inserted. After choosing the proper rear positions, then we are going to add. That's how, it's a very simple. So you take first is okay, already it's full, we cannot insert. The second option is, it's empty. So we are going to insert like empty means 0, 0. And then this is not selected, Q of R means, rear means 0. So there we add element like 4, any an element. So this now insertion, next stop. So this is how the new element, that is empty Q, we are inserted by the element. So otherwise what happens? So we'll take rear pointers, position you can take now this example 0, 1, 2. So what is 3? So n means we have a 0 minus. So rear right now is a 2 and where we have a 3. What is 2 is equal to 3? No, it is not full. There exists space. So therefore we go to check, is it empty? Front equals a, no, front is already pointing 0. It has some value. So else what we do? Rear equals rear plus 1. What is rear pointing? 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So Q of rear, that is 3. Q of 3 we don't have. So we insert item, that is, let it be 7. So this is how the element is inserted into the queue. This is how we perform the insertion operation. This is how we are going to insert an element into the queue. So it is a, first you can remember it's very easily, as I told, give 3 examples. So if it is full, we cannot insert, display the message and stop the algorithm, that function come back. We cannot, just only the message. The second option what we are going to do is, you can see there. So if it is empty, so insert the element you are trying to insert as a new element. So make it as a Q of R is equal to, that is item. So thereby making front is 0 and rear is 0, because it's empty. This is the first element, both will be pointing to the same element. You can see front and rear with the same value. That is what I did. So, if it is empty, we are going to replace the front and rear by the value 0, that is the first position of array. So, and that is where we have inserted. Otherwise, it is already exists some elements, just like rear plus 1 after this is independent. So, this is used to choose the proper position of R. So, after choosing R, we are going to insert an element into the queue. This is something about the what we call the insertion operation, that is called NQ algorithm. Okay. So, next we will continue with the second algorithm, that is a DQ and application of DQ. So, I think it's we have understood. So, write this algorithm.